observe the established protocol, but permit me to just give mention to a number of persons here present. First, I'd like to start by giving mention to our good friend, Mr. Lin, from the Republic of China and Taiwan. And staff. I also wish to mention my very good friend from the Republic of Venezuela, Mr. Guzman. I wish also to acknowledge the hard-working, young, and dynamic Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Marine Resources, and Cooperative, Mr. Miguel Fleming. Allow me also to mention our Director of Agriculture, Ms. Janelle Kelly. Our new Director of Fisheries, who has been making waves, no pun intended. Yes, Mr. Randall Thompson. And I also must recognize the Registrar in the Department of Cooperative, Mrs. Erla Clark Allen. I wish also to extend recognition to the hard-working staff in the entire ministry across every department, because it is through your efforts that much of the work is actually done. So again, I commend the staff present. But let me also recognize our food heroes, our farmers, our fishers, our members of COPS, our agro-processors, our businessmen and women. Thank you for being here. And before I get into it, I cannot move on without mentioning our queens. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today to celebrate our gifts. We're here today to celebrate the present. But in celebrating the present, it is intuitive to somehow contextualize how far we've come. When we look at our country, St. Kitts and Nevis, we recognize that through history, we have had a unique positioning. History tells us that our shores were the shores that first established colonies from the east in the west, where Sir Thomas Warner is said to have landed here as the first British settlement. Our country has long been deemed sugar city because a part of its development would have been through the production of sugar. Yes, sir. And it is said that we have had one of the best quality sugars in the world, which speaks to the quality of our agriculture sector. It speaks to the quality of our land. And we go back just a bit more beyond sugar. The Caribs who would have inhabited our country would have given it the name Lyamega. And we all would have learned the meaning behind Lyamega, which is fertile lands. And when we put that in the context of what this country is and what it can be and what it has become, we come fast forward to today. Because after 2004, 2005, when it was a bold move to end the long-standing sugar production, we had to make strict decisions as to what we would become. And for most of our farming community, they ventured into other endeavors, namely for most tourism. And we have been, for the last near 20 years, focused on developing the tourism sector, services sector, and a number of other sectors. But sadly, in all that development, we have neglected the agriculture sector. And for some near 20 years, the sector has suffered. The sector went from being the dominant contributor to our country's GDP to now today representing just over 1%. However, today we're here to celebrate. And so as we celebrate the fact that there is a brighter future ahead. We celebrate the fact that we have diligent, talented, and hard-working food heroes that still toil the soil and plow away to produce food for our people. But they do need assistance. And it was just over a year ago, I spent months on a campaign trail. And on that campaign trail, I promised and made commitments to transforming the agriculture sector. Today, I stand resolute on the same commitments. But today, I stand here to celebrate. I stand here to celebrate that there is a vision for the way forward. That vision partly wrapped in CARICOM's overall vision of reducing our food import bill by 25% by 2025. I stand resolute in seeing that through. And what does this mean for our farmers, fishers, and agripreneurs? It means that somewhere along the line, there's $50 million for you to reach and hold and retain within this country. It is not a Ministry of Agriculture thing. It is not a government thing. It is a your thing. Because that 25% that we want to retain within the country isn't 25% for the government. It is 25% that will be based on our agripreneurs, our farmers, our fishers, and our people producing more food and earning that revenue. I wish to see by 2026, many of you in this room gearing up to build your dream homes after you would have been successful in achieving our goal. You see, this is what this is about. Taking an approach that takes into consideration that our society has for a long time positioned our agripreneurs and our farmers and fishers at the bottom tier of society. But if we consider it, our farmers and our fishers and our food heroes are really the driving force. Because if I ask for a show of hands, which one of us here could survive without food? I am quite sure there will be no hand to raise it here. So then it speaks to your significance. And never let anyone diminish that significance. Never let anyone position you mentally, physically, or otherwise to think differently. You are the cornerstone of our society. And I stand here as your minister, representing you to the fullest. And every hall that I enter, I make it known that agriculture is one of the most important industries in the world. Today, we have a number of awards to celebrate a number of you. But I don't want that to ever be considered as the holistic view of the sector. It is just our way of identifying some, but each and every one of you, for your own contribution over time, for your resilience, where our country would have neglected a number of your efforts to build. Today, we celebrate that we are now banding together hand in hand. Our beekeepers, our rabbit, small ruminant, livestock, breeders and rearers, our fisherfolk, our agribusinesses, and every crop farmer that has ever planted any tree. Today, we celebrate you, all of them. And while only a few names may be mentioned, it is important that I know to every single one of you that we deem every effort important. You see, to achieve 25 by 25, every last one of us will have to do more. And that is why today we launch our DRIP program, our Drought Resilience Irrigation Program, to ensure that we provide the tools at the most basic level to help you to produce more, to help reduce your time in the field, to help improve your quality. Because we recognize that it makes no sense asking you to produce more if it means spending more time. Because then we are robbing you from your family life. We are robbing you from contributing in other sectors of our society. So we have thought of ingenious ways of implementing technology to reduce your workload, but increase your production. And that's why we are also talking about greenhouse villages, because we must implement technology if we are to succeed. This isn't a time when, of the past, where everything was a lot easier. When it would rain more regularly, we've seen changes in that. Just this morning, I gave a little story. I have family that reside in Samal. And for years, they would come to St. Kitts and I would go to Samal as a child. And it was interesting for me as a young boy to see, even taking a shower, you're being chastised if you let the water run while you soak your skin, because they have to conserve water because of the cost of water and the supply. Coming to St. Kitts, we would let the water run for hours if we had to, and it was not a problem. Today, we see the effects of that. The effects of that, coupled with climate change. We lose access to water sometimes, some of us all day, but most of us at least a part of the day. That was a time, that was once upon a time unheard of. Water was abundant. It is no longer the same scenario. And so as times have changed, we also have to change our thinking and our attitude. And we must do what it takes to make sure that we are responsible users of this resource. And as the theme for World Food Day this year indicates, water is life, water is food, leave no one behind. We have been putting in work and discussing with our experts in the field of water to see how we could put water on every single farm. It is a tall feat, but we're committed to getting it done. We have been discussing as a ministry and as a department how we could use technology to reduce our use and abuse of water while improving our productivity. Again, a tall feat, but we are committed to getting it done. And with the help of our friends, Taiwan, Venezuela, OECS, IECA, FAO, and I could go on listing a number of them, we have been finding ways to develop these programs. With the help of the cabinet, our ministry has been sourcing resources to get there. And I dare say, with the help of you, our food heroes, I am guaranteed, sure, that we will get there. It takes time, it takes effort, hard work. But I've never known a farmer who had an issue with hard work yet. And so I'm happy to be amongst this movement, ready to toil, ready to plow, ready to ride the waves and achieve our abundant harvest. I know we can do it. You have done it with much less support. So I know with more support, it is inevitable. And as your minister, you can count on me to be a champion in every room, in every hall, in every space. And that I can guarantee. So today, let us celebrate. Celebrate our food heroes. Celebrate our vision. Let us grow our future. We understand the concept. Plant the seed, nurture it, and you harvest abundantly. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for being here.